Okay, I am set up at Two Wheels in Suches, Georgia. I am tent camping it tonight, and then tomorrow morning I'm going to pack up and start on the Smoky Mountain 500. I'm going to stay in cabins on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, all right, first day, Smoky Mountain 500, spit last night at Two Wheels of Suches. Rain, which will hopefully take the wind off, or the mud off, because it's been pretty dry up here. And got a late start, 9:23. Had to pack the tent up, leave it behind, do a bunch of other stuff. Forgot to take my dang gloves out of my bag. Had to unpack everything, repack everything. It ain't one thing, it's another. All right, I think I've got my GPS figured out. I'm running two of them. I'm running my pad on the lifetime, so that way if my phone craps out or I get lost, I can always pull it out and figure out where I'm going using that. So I know I take, I believe this is 60 or 19, I don't know, I think it's 60. I take this for a while before I turn off and hit in here. So, like I said, just trying to make a nice, easy ride today, nothing crazy. North Georgia mountains into the Carolinas. One thing I did, and I'm glad I did, is I took out the clutch bypass. It makes for smoother stopping and everything, but what I found out, it definitely takes away your engine braking. So like if I let off now, I get that downshifting feeling without downshifting. So for riding trails and riding mountains, I 100% believe just leave the bypass alone. Now if I go back to riding flat land and stuff, then I'll probably throw it back in. It's a plug, it takes literally 30 seconds to switch it on and off. But already going down the hills, it's making a tremendous difference, because if I had the clutch bypass in and I let off, it would coast, and then I would start having to hit the brakes. Now I'm not hitting the brakes, I just let off the throttle. You probably hear the engine RPMs picking up. Beautiful ride, riding along the river here. It's October 7th, I believe. Anyway, just starting to get cold. Still too early for the lead change. Okay, the pavement ends at 14.3 miles from the camp. I might need to air down a little bit. I'm going to run it a little bit and see how it's doing. Definitely a little bit more rocky section of road, floating all over it. And you hear the occasional ding, ding, ding of the rocks hitting the skid plate. So, skid plate is definitely important to have. It's not too bad. Not rutted or anything. It just looks like they've laid rock. I guess where it's washed out, it helps to keep it from washing out. They have to air down a little bit more, but it's a fine line on airing down too much and not enough. Still making my way through the Cherokee National Forest. It's definitely cooling down a little bit with the altitude, and hands are getting pretty cold. I don't know if it's because I'm wearing my thinner gloves or the occasional death clutch. It's knocking the blood out of my hands. Woo! It's you have to stop up here a little bit and throw on some warmer gloves. So it's pretty rocky in this area here. Let's see if I'm going the right way or not. There's two trails. Yep, still going the same right way, I believe. So climbing in a lot of loose rock here. Now, if I was on my side-by-side, I'd be ripping this. Back on pavement. Missed a couple of, missed a turn. Finding my way back to the route. Feels good to get on pavement a little bit. At least now I can loosen my grip a little bit. Try to get rested back up. Everybody's out riding today. All right, make sure I'm back on route here. Nice ride through the Cherokee National Forest. Pretty rocky. First time I've really rode anything that long. And did notice there were a couple of times that I was death gripping and trying to make up time where I could when it wasn't super rocky. Like I said, I did get a late start this morning. I have no idea how long this is going to take me. Everybody says give 7 to 8 hours, and I'm by myself. First time doing this, so I'm riding it like a turtle. When I get finished, I get finished. But what a beautiful area of Georgia. Okay, as you can see, the T-Rex engine bars did their job. Said it was on a rocky road. Just a little scratch rash type thing. Sanded down, repainted flat black, and be good to go. And then the engine guard took a little bit of a hit as well. Same thing. Quick sand, and it will buff right back out. The engine bag took a little on the side there, nothing bad. Sanded down, can repaint the bags or whatever anyway, but at least they didn't break and they held up. All right, I just took my first fall. Come around the corner, tourist walking right in the middle of the damn road. Had to grab front brake, which was not the best idea, but had to get stopped. Bike slid out from underneath me. Definitely tweaked the knee a little bit. Probably be sore tonight, we'll see. Get out here and get up the pavement, I'll stop and reassess everything. Woo! Man, I tweaked it good. I don't think I tore anything, but definitely gonna be sore. I just scraped up the side bag, and that was about it. Let's see if I'm going the right way or not. Going the wrong way. All right, second creek crossing. Oh man, I got my knee good. Reassess what's going on. Happen. Like I said, I didn't really know the route. I was following the GPS, never done it before. Everything was going really well. I knew I was coming up to the Hilton Creek Falls area. Slowed it down a little bit, and as I came around a blind corner on a very rocky and dirt road, I did not know that was the parking area for the walk down to the falls. As I came around, standing in the middle of the road is 6 tourists, elderly tourists, standing in the middle of the road. Now, I was only doing maybe 10, 12 mile an hour, somewhere in there. But I mean, I was right on them. Hit the rear brake, started sliding, and I'm like, well, did the old, what you shouldn't do, especially on gravel, grab the front brake to try to get stopped, and the bike just slid out from underneath me. So when it did, I just sort of stepped off the bike, and of course my left leg planted unnaturally, and thus that's why I am heading to the orthopedic. Immediately I knew my leg was jacked, because man, I was having one hell of a hard time even shifting gears. Just the upward movement of my foot to knock it up in the gear range was hurting me bad. So once I got to the pavement, I pulled up the GPS, and I was about 55, 56 miles to get back to Twos, where I was leaving my truck and trailer, and that's the route I decided. And I will tell you this, it was the longest hour plus that I've done in a while, because it got so brutal on changing gears that once I got to like 4th gear on the KLR, that's what I stayed in. If I had to slow down to 20 mile an hour on a turn, I was just revving and clutching the hell out of the bike, because that's really all I could take. I just couldn't shift. I was almost basically having to stand on my good leg, which was my right leg, and then just trying to lift with my left leg to shift gears. Okay, so just leaving the orthopedic, and I guess overall better news than I expected. The good point is no tears in any of the ligaments. They might have got tweaked a little bit, but no tears, no bleeding. That's a good thing. They took additional x-rays that the emergency room missed on the first night of the injury, and I do have a small hairline fracture, and I think it's on the tibia. I don't know, he drew it like on the piece of paper. It is right at where surgery could go either way, yes or no. His option, he said right now, is to go ahead, no wait, for 8 weeks, which is going to be a bear. So that's 8 weeks of crutches. Give me a bionic, very expensive knee brace to put on there, and then I can start physical therapy. As far as the clotting that occurred below in the calf area, his belief is that it probably was a result of riding the motorcycle for over an hour after I had the accident, and then driving home in the truck for about 3.5 hours seated. So he believes that's where the clotting came from. I've got to follow up with a hematologist to verify that. And the bad thing about it is, since they put me on Eliquis the other night, which is for clotting, that also would hamper any surgery for at least 8 weeks. So what he thinks that it will heal naturally with no surgery, and it's just going to be 8 weeks of
trucking around on the crutches and trying to keep the weight off it and everything, which if you're active, you know how much of a pain in the ass that is. So anyway, that's the update on this saga right now. So next step, trying to get in to see a doctor for the clotting below the injury, which is damn near impossible. I think I might have an appointment lined up next week. So I'm still working on that. So anyway, that's where we're at. Throttle handbrake up near Vogel State Park.